Okay, hey everyone, it's Dee Thrive 11. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I am visiting my best friend. I'm in like the office of their home, and yeah, just having a nice little weekend vacation. I am up here for a particular reason, but like, who needs a reason to visit their best friend? Um, but yeah, so today's video, I actually wanted to address why there's such a big gap between my previous two videos where I talked about my depression and my video about like valuing my life and stuff like that, and my intro and even my most recent videos. And also in terms of the lighting, like I have like this great sunlight coming in, but the clouds are also passing, so that's a thing. So the light will be fluctuating. There might be some glare with the glasses. I don't feel like rocking my contacts right now, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that journey because it was an interesting realization for me. So the reason why like I was away for so long, and like California vacation notwithstanding and stuff, I was there for a little bit, for like 9 days, which was really good because I hadn't been out of the city for over 2 years before that. And like for those who live in the city, like you do need a break from it. It's really too intense for way too long and stuff. If you don't have like a respite within the city, if you're lucky enough to find that, can you like, I don't know, see my Instagram and DM me or something like that, and let me know. But yeah, there you just need some time away and stuff. And also, I've done notes and stuff. I'm doing that thing right now. To keep my thoughts a little bit more organized and everything. So you will see me looking down, and like please forgive any glare. If you like, also my eyes disappear for a little bit. But yeah, the reason why I was gone for so long was because I was thinking about how best to organize my thoughts and the content of my videos. And, whilst like, though I actually didn't edit that much in terms of those two videos. I don't even know if I edited at all. But I did, while I was uploading them and everything, I did like listen through them and stuff. And I was like very self-conscious, as I've been and like even probably alluded to in my previous videos, when I'm like, oh, talking about all the I say and everything, and like non sequiturs and my tangents and like pauses and stuff. So I was really like self-conscious about that, and and I just wanted like to like, I was just conscious, very aware of like the organization or like thereof of my videos and my content. And then after having watched those and like sitting by myself for a little bit, I just then thought about like, wait, if I was, what would happen or what would I do if I was writing an essay about depression? And then I was like, yeah, because I was, had my school mindset and stuff like that. But and I thought I like hit this like eureka moment, and in a way I had, but like I was thinking like, oh, like, oh, I should start a blog, do that, like attach the videos and everything. And like that was, I may still do that further down the line, but like there was this eureka moment. But then also unawares to me, that was also where like the issue and the problem actually began to set in. So if you'll recall in my video about valuing myself in my life, which I'll link in the description box below, I mentioned how like investing in myself, how I was investing in myself and taking like even like financially and stuff like that, and really being purposeful about where I put my energy. And like people, we believe like energy's like money's energy and stuff like that. So where I put my energy, where I put a lot of my effort and stuff like that towards my goals, and like, and how I wanted to display like how I valued my goals. I am looking at notes and stuff, but how I wanted to display that in the way in which I improve in my filming, my editing and stuff like that, and like the quality of my videos. So not just the content, but also the quality of my videos. And like that's still valid, because I still want to improve, because I also do want to like use filming and editing skills in like actual other projects outside of like YouTube and tracking my journeys and stuff. But um and like, here's the thing, and I am Aries, so I guess like I thought that, like, um no, I actually had assumed that I that the skills that I would, acquire, and the level that I'll get to would actually happen like far more quickly than it ended up, than it ended up happening as I was like, going along. So, I assumed that, and then, life as a way of happening, as always, when you're alive. And also, I just needed more time than I thought to like incorporate what I was learning through my research and stuff like that on YouTube and like other sources. And plus, the idea of like writing everything down, like I said, I like wanted to start blogging and stuff like that. So then I like added on that research and doing that and being like, oh, this can be like, this is how I can do it in a more organized format and everything, and the effort for that, plus on YouTube videos and all that stuff. And so I just like, I was like, okay, this is going to take a little time and everything. And so I hit like what I thought was just going to be a pause in this whole thing. And, there isn't anything wrong with like, taking a breather, falling back and being like, let me just reassess and stuff. I feel like there's a balance in that, of learning when to reassess and when to like, just jump forward. And I'm still working on that. But then like, a few days became a week, became 2 weeks, became a little longer. and then as more time passed, I realized I fell like again into that trap of like waiting until I had everything down pat and like, hashtag perfectly. And it's just as time went on, I was, oh, this is not right. This is not right. Let me do it this way. Oh, how would I do it? And like, I started trying to kind of break down a lot of hows and stuff. So, something to know about me, my astrology heads will understand this. And even if they don't, they'll like, take the effort to like check out cafeastrology.com and figure this out. So I'm rising Virgo. Not only that, my southern moon node is in Virgo. And your southern moon node kind of like denotes what like sort of personality traits and things you've like mastered and stuff over, lifetimes and stuff, if you ascribe to that belief. And not only that, but I also have Saturn and Capricorn in my house of like creativity and expression and stuff. So I like, with all my good intentions, I like things done well. I like to do things well and thoroughly and stuff like that. And that kind of runs some tension with my Aries energy that likes things done more quickly and impulsively. But anyways, I do like things done well and thoroughly and efficiently and stuff like that. But the issue being, that line between taking the necessary time to do things well and not doing things at all because of perfectionism. And I remember hearing, maybe I read it, but I think I remember hearing, and I never forgot this, that I'm probably not gonna say this quote like exactly right or whatever, but like perfectionism leads you further away from what you want or your goal or stuff like that rather than towards it. Perfectionism leads you further away from your goals rather than towards it. And that, ladies and gents, and my non-binaries, or like my personal language that I'm like working with is my yin yangs and both, is what was essentially going down. Like I just alluded to, like I just started falling into perfectionism, and I went down, I guess I would say I went down to, what is it? The road to the hell of perfectionism, paved with the good intentions of just trying to do things thoroughly, or the right way. But I'm not trying to do like a video or discussion on perfectionism in and of itself, because rather what I started wondering was, so how might this issue with perfectionism fit into the grand scheme of what I'm working on in terms of valuing myself, valuing my life, working through depression and stuff. And it hit me in terms of like, oh, like perfectionism, and like especially, and it's easier to really kind of see it in lieu of social media, with YouTube and Instagram. I just started thinking about like how it's like another way of seeking validation from, the outside world, like valuing others' opinions and views over our own or my own. So, like, yeah, I guess that's the most succinct way to say it. But so now flash forward to when I was getting my hair dyed this past Monday, and I'll put that for those who are interested in terms of like locks and like dyeing your hair and stuff like that. I'll actually link those videos in the description box below. I just like published them yesterday, so, or I don't know. Anyways, but I'll link them below. And so like my stylist Tamika and I were talking, and like we were just talking about like philosophical, ideological, cultural, like so many like in spiritual concepts. Like I'm like, she's like hashtag co-philosopher. It was great, great conversation. I highly recommend her. Check her out. I'll link her Instagram in this description box below as well. And so anyways, towards the end of our conversation and our time together, I like mentioned like my channel and what I was trying to do with it, and also what I was having trouble with, and so, and I'm a victim of this too, a victim or something, in a way of, we get so caught up in the way a video looks and how, the content is presented to us, that we get fooled into believing that the content is of the same quality of the video. It's kind of like, and it's like a symptom of our society that permeates a lot of aspects of our lives. I mean, we talk about like, the quality of music right now. Like we get lost in the beat and everything, and then like, wait, are you listening to those lyrics? Because that's where the content is at, right? And it brings to mind something like, one of the famous, there's several famous MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. quotes of, not to judge a man by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. Well, actually, I have an issue with judging, period, but that's another discussion topic. So anyways, she said something very interesting, and this is why I feel like we need to like keep our like ears open and our feelers out, all of our senses open, because who knows how the universe is gonna like try and talk to us, and like, drop little wisdom bombs into our lives. So she talked about how some of the YouTubers that she connects with most actually are the ones who go on tangents, who, aren't that polished and stuff. And she added like specifically in terms of, what I was worried about, what I shared with her, because I'm like, oh, sometimes I have these ums and pauses, and I like go this way and I go that way and stuff like that. And I'm not like really organized and like really, succinct with my message and stuff. And she was like, because she talked about like sometimes when they go on those tangents, she actually like gets something out of them. And she's like, you don't know who might need, like what you might, how did she put this? She said, you don't know what someone might be getting, or like someone might, you might say something in that tangent that someone else needed to hear just then, And so, just that whole, it brings to mind even that whole concept of like nothing being an accident and stuff like that. Like you might say something that may be inconsequential to you that is just like, oh my God, bomb for someone else, right? And so essentially, like I was like through this talk, I'm like, I was getting the message, because I was also like I actually, to go on another tangent, I actually made another video that I was going to drop saying like, oh, I'm going to be on hiatus until, July 1st, and I'll have everything together and stuff, and I didn't publish that video because I was like, that's when I kind of felt like I was falling into the perfectionism and like really started like trying to pick at that and like, what is that, you know? And so I guess I got the message that like, you know, just um let go of perfectionism, which is like, you know, not only a way of, and this is like what I'm saying to you, I also need to hear, right? So this is the whole, like, this is kind of like the spirit of how this journey is going to go and how I'm sharing this content, you know. So let go of perfectionism, which is not only a way of trying to determine the how of things in our lives and trying to, and I almost feel like in some way predict the future, but it's also a way of seeking the validations of others, looking desperately for others' approval and like people pleasing. You know, that for me is the equivalent of a survival life and mindset in my life, and in my sort of life philosophy. And you know, so stop doing that and do. Remember, I say dream, do, thrive, right? And do what your spirit or soul is bugging you to do, because particularly when you're being authentic with yourself, the people who are supposed to find you and be around you, etc., they will. So let me just kind of say that succinctly without all of my like, you know, ad-libs. So just let go of perfectionism, which is not only a way of trying to determine the how, but also seeking the validation of others, looking desperately for others' opinion and approval, people pleasing, and the equivalent of a survival mindset, and do what your spirit or soul is bugging you, nagging at you to do, because particularly when you're being authentic to yourself, the people who are supposed to find you and be around you, etc., will. Right? That's like no edit zone. No edit. So that's kind of, you know, until I learn better. But like, no, that's kind of what I felt after really ruminating on that and taking that. And I was like, yeah, let me just like just shoot it, and like as I go along, you know, I'll be learning as I go along, and that's gonna be okay. And that's gonna be okay. And even that's what I'm even challenging myself to do and challenging myself to be and stuff. And like not to wait until everything's like lined up perfectly in a row. That's kind of like in terms of what I alluded to in my intro. Yeah, I'll link that in the description box below too. There's gonna be a lot of videos linked in the description box, but to not wait until everything's like fixed, because that may like, when, who knows when that time is, because at every point there's going to be something else, so not to wait till everything's lined up perfectly, and like when I know exactly how things are going to turn out and how the video's going to go, because even this, I even practiced this just to make sure I understood the flow of my like, you know, thought process. But like there's so many things that I've already done and said in this video that I didn't do last time when I practiced it, excuse me, like that wasn't planned, that I wouldn't do like if I did a second, you know, take of this and stuff like that. So stop trying to figure out like how the video is going to turn out exactly, and just keep going and trust. Yeah, that trust, very difficult for this chick over here, so difficult. But and trust that you're going to learn what you need to learn and get what you need to get in terms of skill set and acquire when you need to, as you go along, you know. As you're going along the road, you're going to pick up this thing, you're going to see this thing, you're going to, you know, probably get in contact with someone that you need, that could help you with this and stuff like that, you know. But you have to actually start moving first, right? And so let me see. Yeah. And even in that spirit, you know, it's just like this thing of like, you know, finding your tribe, you know. I'm just trying to trust that as I am the way I am and where I'm at, that those of you who are tuning in and stuff like that, the people that I need, that need to see this. And also, I actually like to add in this, if you know someone in your life who may need or may benefit from what I'm sharing and the journeys that I'm going to be going on and stuff like that as I keep posting, please feel free to share this video and other videos and stuff as you see fit to people that, you know, will like also may benefit from this. Yeah. So, so I feel like you're going to learn and acquire what you need as you go along. And the only requirement The main requirement, the only requirement is you being fully and truthfully you. Whatever that is as well in this current moment. Because now, like, even when I even wrote that down, I was like, oh, but what if I don't know who I am? I'm still like, like probably developing and evolving. It's like, okay, fine. Okay. But you as you are right now, and just being truthful and authentic to that, and the people that need to be there, you will find, they will find you, etc., etc., as you are in this moment. So, yeah, yes, it's a whole bit existential, but this is like how I think. This is all the interconnecting. This is how my mind actually runs in just real life, and yeah, it may seem existential, but like facts and truth, in a sense. But anyways, that's been my personal journey, at least one aspect of it, because there are several more, this past month, at least in relation to this channel. And, kind of explains like where I've been, like in my head. And so, and actually to touch on, if you guys will see my very first post in terms of my Loc video, I'm actually doing it handheld. And the reason why I did that was because I started getting into that point of like, oh, I gotta wait till this and that, like, da 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 da. And I was like, you know what? I've been trying to, like, waiting to start a YouTube video or like post a YouTube video and really start my channel for years. And like, I'm getting into that place where I'm not going to do it. So I'm like, hi, I'm this, da, 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 da. I'm tracking my Loc journey, da, 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 So it's like jumping the gun, and I'm still playing around with this and trying to find my balance between my more impulsive, like optimistic spirit and stuff like that. But then also what is valid in terms of really like, accepting when things need to, like, the time that and the work and the effort that I need to put into certain things and stuff like that. So I'm still working on that. So yeah, so I hope I left y'all with something like that you can actually apply to some aspect of your life, like some, I don't know, something profound, that can help you positively shift something that has probably has you blocked somewhere in your life, and or that's been holding you back in some way. But yeah, so I just want to leave y'all with this, to kind of sort of wrap it up, is stop seeking validation from others, because you really don't have to. It's also a way of again, like I alluded to earlier in this video, valuing others' opinions, others' viewpoints instead of your own. And there is a space and a place in like holding both ways value, like as valid, and both opinions valid, and that just takes a lot of discernment, because sometimes like those close to us might tell us something that we're not seeing about ourselves that may actually help us become better versions of ourselves. But then there are also times when like people, it's like, yo, nobody knows your life. Nobody's lived it but you, right? And so that's where like even your experience is valid. And how do you kind of bring those to meet in the same way? But like, stop seeking validation, because you don't have to. And I say, like, strive to be your most authentic self always. It's actually one of my prayers, funny enough, and to like be my authentic self. And I say strive because it does take consistent work. So particularly in a society like ours, in the West, where everyone's, like I said in my intro, posturing perfectionism. So it takes just conscious and consistent awareness and work and effort to be your authentic self, like to really check and be like, wait a second, I'm with this group of people, I really don't feel like having this or buying that, even for my high schoolers and cliques and stuff like that, like really look at the people that are around you, be like, do I really, like, I don't actually dig those shoes, I actually don't like that music, and just like, so it takes an effort and it takes a bravery to be your authentic self. And so don't be surprised if no, actually when I have like other videos that kind of bring up this topic of being authentic and stuff like that. Again, because like I said, I believe a lot of our lives, there's so many aspects of our lives that are interconnected, interrelated, which is one of the reasons why I'm not like compartmentalizing, like, and making a channel for this and making a channel for that aspect of my life, because it's all interconnected. And so I know that I'm going to, even right now that I'm like making this video, I can think of at least one or two other places and aspects of my life in which I'm not my most authentic self. I'm working on it, right? I'm working on it too. And you know, I thought of just now that, just, you don't be your authentic self, because like, it's like that Dr. Seuss quote, like, what is it? I should have written it down, but like, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. And even if they do a little bit, they're going to love you a lot anyways. That's my little addition, so yeah, this is going to be a continuous process, because growth is continuous and growth is a process. I mean, and if you doubt me, peep the plants. I know in New York it might be hard. You have to go to a park and all that stuff. But like, check out plants. It's always a process. It's continuous. Yeah. So I hope that was helpful. And so until next time, enjoy the journey. I know I'm trying to. All right, guys. Bye.